Good morning, everyone, and welcome to warm-up day 24. As you can probably tell, I have not shrunk, but I am sitting in a chair. I thought we would start today in a chair. We haven't done that in a little while, and just been feeling the need to mix it up a little bit. So if you're joining me, go ahead and grab a chair or grab a seat maybe at the end of your bed or on your couch, and we'll start our warm-up in just a moment. All right, so yesterday we were talking about the moving out of inertia and into movement, feeling uninspired, and lo and behold, here again, I feel that this morning. It's a gray day. It seems like every other day is sunny and then it's gray, it's sunny, it's gray, and that's life. We're up and then we're down. So sitting in the chair, you could allow yourself to tend to yourself in any way that suits you today, but really get yourself moving. So maybe you start to move pleasurably. Maybe you start to just gently wake up your spine and your torso. Or maybe you want to really get things moving off of the bone, and maybe you decide, well, I'd rather move the flesh and the muscle off of my bone. So I give you free rein to get yourself moving in any way that suits you. And if you are moving your flesh, you can imagine, perhaps, that it's like clay, and you're restructuring, that's not really the word, you're kneading your skin. I like to move it too, Tess. And if you're letting your body move for pleasure, then it's unformed perhaps, it's whatever it is you need it to be. I'm going to move my skin because that's what I feel like I need right now. As though I'm reworking the clay of my skin into the most beautiful work of art, which is me. And there's a real attention to the feeling of what happens when we move the body. That, yeah, we could move sort of mindlessly and probably get something from it at the end of it. But what's it like, I'm coming down to my legs now, what's it like if there's an attention to the moment of the movement, and you can even, if you're doing on your legs now, you can even bring your leg up. So it's like, oh, this toe should be over here. And that heel, I'm going to move it over here. Because in the sculpture of me, as I envision it, it's not like the lump of clay that got out of bed 5 minutes ago. You know. so much more detail in it, and we're bringing out those details and for those of you just joining, giving ourselves some time to get the body moving. And again, if you decide from yesterday that moving for pleasure really did something for you, then feel free to do that. I have opted to knead my skin, to knead my skin and flesh, and yes, even the muscle, like clay. In a loving way, in a real, caring manner. I might need to lift a buttock to get that moving. To get that reworked. Maybe I could move it as finely as Michelangelo. And then let's not forget about the head and the neck. So anyone just joining, we're getting the body moving and imagining perhaps that our skin is like clay and we're kneading from however that I do feel like I was a lump of clay this morning, so I'm going to use that, but maybe you're not a lump of clay. I don't mean to insinuate or to imply anything. But I'm moving this lump of clay from what was lying in my bed a short while ago into beautiful work of art. And yes, could you even rework and knead your face? Maybe you woke up feeling like a Picasso, and maybe you want to be a Van Gogh. Maybe not a Van Gogh. Maybe you want to keep your ear. I don't know. But, you know. Or maybe you want to experiment with moving yourself into a Picasso. What's that like? What does that give you? Maybe your nose would be so much better 2 inches to the left, and one of your eyes 2 inches higher. Could be interesting. And then begin to find the end point. Find the moment where you're satisfied with your self-sculpture. And then sitting there, those of you joining recently, we're sitting in a chair today, or at the edge of your bed, or the couch. And take a moment to feel your body now and feel that work of art. And then let your feet be flat on the floor. So you may need to sit a little bit further forward on your chair if you have shorter legs like I do, or you can sit further back if that makes sense in your body. Let your feet be flat on the floor. I need to move back. So your feet are flat on the floor. The sculpture of your feet are contacting the floor. Your knees are directly above your feet. Your thigh bones are at right angles to your lower leg bones. You can feel your pelvis being supported by the chair. You can picture your tailbone in the very center of your pelvis, and you can picture that growing up into your sacrum, into your lumbar spine, into your thoracic spine, the spine of your ribs. You can picture up to the bull vertebra at the base of your neck. Picture out along your shoulders, down your arms. You can let your arms just gently hang on your sides or on your thigh. Your hands can be on your thighs. So you've got that support through your spine from the chair, and the chair is being supported by the floor. And then you scan up your arms to your shoulders, to the base of your neck, and then up your neck, through your cervical spine, through your neck spine. Find that length there. And the sculpture of your head is floating on top of your neck spine. And because your head is floating, your spine is floating upward, supported by the chair, you can let go of your belly muscles. You don't need to hang on to them. You don't need them to stay upright. Now let your arms fall to the outside of your legs. Think into your elbow points and rotate them forward. Float your elbows up and in front of you. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Think into your wrist points and float your wrists up to the sky. Shoulders relaxed. Think into your fingertips and float your fingertips up, 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 up until your arms are straight but not locked. And then think into your fingertips and stretch your fingertips up as if your fingertips wanted to reach the ceiling on one side, and then they release back down. And then on the other side, giving yourself a little bit stretch through one side of your body, and then relax. And again, stretch up out of your hip sockets, and then relax. And then stretch up the other side, and then relax. And settle your arms back in. And now let your hands fall over your wrists. I know you can't see mine, but my hands dropped. And your wrists drop. And let your arms drop. Feel that release. Now let your head drop forward to your chest. Feel the pull at the base of your neck. And now you'll want to make sure you're sitting rather forward here in the chair, and that maybe your feet are a little bit wider than hip socket distance. Let the weight of your head start to take you down your spine, vertebra by vertebra. Your arms are going to fall to the outside of your legs as you make your way down, down, down until you're more or less hanging from your tailbone. Just gently nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Bring your hands to your back bottom ribs and feed in and let go of a deep down sigh of relief on breath. And one more time, feed a deep down sigh of relief on breath. Let your arms drop to your sides. Think into your tailbone and let your tailbone reinsert itself into the chair as you start to come back up your spine, vertebra by vertebra. Each vertebra stacking one on top of the other. Coming all the way up until you're sitting upright again. Take a moment to feel the benefit of that release of your spine. And lick your lips. Give them a smack. Blow through them. And now let your lips be softly parted and turn your attention to your breath. Your arms can come back onto your hands or onto your thighs, or let them stay at your side. It's up to you. Feel the cool incoming air coming in past your lips and dropping into your middle. That your belly, because it's soft, is making room for your breath. And the outgoing breath comes to your lips on something like a loose, sloppy F sound. So that you know that breath is coming to the front of your mouth. And there's that moment of nothing after each outgoing breath. And then suddenly your belly relaxes and a new breath replaces itself. And now picturing in your middle that pool of sound vibration. The next breath that drops in meets the vibrations in your middle and bubbles up into your mouth. Ha. Ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. And start to drop down your spine again. Your arms fall to the outside. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. And when you've dropped down your spine, feed in a deep down sigh of relief on vibration, like a waterfall or a wave of relief on sound. And think of that sound falling from your tailbone over your back and through your mouth to the ground beneath you. And then coming back to that double bubble of sound to bring you up your spine. Ha 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 ha. Take your time. Ha 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 ha. Coming all the way up. Ha 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 ha. And now from your middle, feed in a sigh that's a fountain of relief on vibration. And let that fountain of relief on vibration now stretch your arms out and come up through your fingertips like a geyser or a fountain of sound. And then drop your arms and then shake those vibrational waters back into you. Now bring one knee up into your belly and clasp onto that knee with your hands. And it's okay if your back rounds slightly here. I have short arms, so my back's going to round ever so slightly. But I'm going to still think long in my spine. Feed in a sigh down to the hip socket, whatever hip socket you have in your hand, whatever leg you have, down to that hip socket lung. And you're going to shake the knee in and away from the belly to loosen those vibrations from that hip socket. Now feeding in that sigh, catching it at the lips for a moment, tasting those waters of your vibrations on your lips, and then releasing out again. Unclasp that knee, let that foot drop flat to the floor, and float the other knee up into your belly. And again, you're going to feed in that side, down to your hip socket lung. Shake the vibrations of sound as you shake the knee in and away from your belly. And as you feed in that breath down to the hip socket lung, it's inflating that lung like a balloon. So you might notice that your knee moves slightly away from you, slightly more into your hands as the breath comes in. Unclasp that knee, feel the release that you've just given yourself in those hip sockets, and see if you can connect now to that space in your pelvic floor. From hip socket to hip socket, that wide pelvic basin, and sigh from there. And really see if you can connect to the feeling of vibrations deep within your body, deep within that pelvic source. And then from that pelvic source, it comes right to your lips, and flutter the vibrations through your lips. And now stay connected to that pelvic source as you flutter the vibrations through the lips. Gently let the head rock from side to side. And then a gentle nod yes. Little circle around. And circle the other way. And let that go. And now roll the vibration through your shoulders. And roll them the other way. And then shake the vibrations loose through your shoulders, through your upper body. And again. And sink back down into your pelvis and see if you can let your pelvis rock forward on the chair and backward. Forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. And forward and back and forward and back. And back and forward and back. So you can start to take it a little more quickly into a little rock. And then let that pelvis come to stillness. And now let your tailbone, your pelvis, come forward. Your spine rounds. Your head and neck drop. Your hands can be on your knees. So we have a rounded spine. Now think into your tailbone. Your tailbone's going to rock back. You're going to follow that through your arching spine. Your lumbar spine arches forward. Your thoracic spine arches forward. Your neck spine starts to arch back. And your head and neck go back. And you have an arched spine. Let's do that again. Tailbone goes forward. You round your spine. Your head drops. Head and neck drop. Now your tailbone goes back. Your lumbar spine goes forward. Your thoracic spine goes forward. Your neck spine goes back. Your top skull lifts off your bottom jaw. And your tailbone, you think back to your tailbone that comes forward. Your lumbar spine round, your thoracic spine round, your neck spine drops forward, your head drops forward. So this is very much like what we do when we're on all fours with the arching and rounding. Now, let the ha-ha be the tailbone going back. The hum travels through your arching spine. At the top of that thought, your top skull will lift off your bottom jaw, and the vibrations from that hum will fly up and out of you. So it will be hum-ma. Here we go. Hum-ma. And then your tailbone comes forward, your spine rounds, and your head and neck drop. So that's the structure. Now, if when we were on all fours, we're picturing a train, a hum train, this might be a rocket, a humming rocket, since we're upright, right? So maybe you think of the ignition, the blast off being in your tailbone, and that humming rocket energy travels through your arching spine, and then as your top skull lifts off your bottom jaw, your eyes can open and you can see that hum rocket flying up and out of you, up into outer space. And I'll give you the thought pitch with my voice. Hum-ma. And then your spine rounds. Hum-ma. Round your spine, tailbone forward, head and neck drop. Hum-ma. Tailbone forwards, round your spine. This time at the end of that hum train, you're going to wave goodbye to it as you stretch and relax your tongue twice. Round your spine, tailbone forward, breath drops in. Round the spine, tailbone forward, breath drops in. And then come back to a neutral spine. And as you see your rocket fly away, or your rockets, many rockets fly away, breathe that in and out on a whispered ka. And then bring your hands up to your jaw and just give your jaw a gentle shake loose. Just a quick hello to the jaw. And now as you sit there tall with your spine, if you felt like your legs are getting tense in any way, then shake them out, stand up and do a little dance with your tailbone. And then find that long spine again. Lengthen your neck up and back. Feel that channel of your throat opening wide all the way down to your pelvis. And lay a hand on your chest, lay a hand up between your shoulder blades, and maybe you're imagining that your chest is as wide as a space shuttle, and as cavernous and, well, I guess they're not that cavernous, they're rather small, but they're big crafts, much bigger than you and me, and they're all metal, so a very hard surface, and it's great at reverberating sound. So picture the space shuttle of your chest, and sigh up through that space. You're ready to blast off into outer space. Space, the great unknown. And come up on your neck. And imagine you've lifted off. You're in outer space and you're floating right above Earth. And you're looking out through one of the windows in your space shuttle, and you can see space, and it just looks so completely calm. And as you look out, you call out through your mouth resonator, "Ha!" As if your mouth vibrations could actually travel through the vacuum of space to Earth and to whatever other planetary bodies you might be able to spy. Ha! 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 And then lengthen your neck forward, tip of the tongue at the back of the bottom teeth, front blade of your tongue falls forward, and now you're looking down to Earth, and of course Earth can be above you, can be to the side, up and down mean nothing in space, but you can see below you is Earth. And as if you could drop a signal to Earth through your teeth resonance, a little something through the sonar, something through the radio waves. He. Maybe you're sending a message to, maybe there are other life forms out on Earth, and you're sending this message to them to say, we come in peace, we are friendly, and we're here to learn about you. And to share everything that is us. Coming back up, and maybe you spy an alien craft in the distance, and it seems like they might be friendly, but you want to make sure, and you call out to them through your mouth. Ha! Ha! And then they're coming in peace, and they're having an exchange with us. And you feel grateful that it's a peaceful exchange, and you sigh up through your chest. Ha, ha, ha. up on your neck and blend those 3 resonators. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. You're friends now with the alien beings. And you're on a hey basis with them. Hey. Right? It's pretty informal now. Hey, hey, hey. And they're really curious about your 2 arms and your 2 limbs because they have a completely different kind of body. And they're wondering how it works. And you decide to say, well, this is how it works. And you send some vibrations down one of your arms to the alien. Hey! And they're curious about other life forms. And you say, other life forms are really loose in the body. And they have tentacles. And it's something like this. Hey! And there are other creatures that have great big legs with hooves on them, and you show them, and you let sound come down through a leg. Hey! and other creatures have paws, and they're domesticated, and you send that down one of your legs through one of your paw. Hey! And then you let it come through your whole body. Hey, hey, hey! Hey! Hey, hey, hey! And then from there, the aliens are quite big. And you think, I wonder if I could be that big, have that sense of expansion. So you imagine that you have short, strong, elastic bands from your elbow points to your back ribs. You let your arms drop to your sides. And you float your elbows straight out to the sides. And you feel those short, strong, elastic bands opening your ribs a bit. Now you bring your elbows forward about 1 inch, and you can feel that opening your back ribs a bit more. And then you relax them. And again, you bring your elbows forward, and it opens up the back ribs a bit. And then you let them relax. And elbows go forward, open the back ribs, expand them, and then relax. And now as the elbows go back, you're opening up your front ribs, and then you let them relax. Elbows go back about 1 inch or 2, opening the front ribs, expanding them, and then relax. And one more time, elbows go back, open the front ribs, expand them, and then relax. One more time, open the back ribs, elbows forward. Elbows go back, open the front ribs. The back ribs were first, sorry. And now keep those ribs open as you wriggle up a side rib, 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 a side rib. So your rib cage is expanded as big as these alien creatures. And you drop your arms and keep your ribs expanded. You soften in your belly so you can breathe, but don't let your ribs collapse. And let that go. Feel what that's done for your ribs and your intercostals and that sense of space. Speaking of space, the vacuum of space, we're going to vacuum our lungs. So sigh all the breath out to create a vacuum. Get it all out. When you're out of breath, you plug your nose. Close your mouth and try to breathe in against your fingers. When your body says, I have to breathe, you unplug the nose and let the breath come streaming in through your nose, filling you up to capacity. Let's do that one more time. Sigh the breath to create a vacuum. Get it all out. Plug the nose. Add to the lower rib. Take a moment to feel that sense of your breath, that sense of breath power. And now the aliens come from a planet where there's no oxygen. And you are going to share with them the deliciousness of the atmosphere of Earth. As you feed in 4 huge deep down sighs of preferably pleasurable breath, let your hands come on top of your head so your ribs are open. Feed in 4 deep down sighs of breath in and out through your mouth, one right after the other. And as the breath flies out of you, your arms will fly up as if to release the breath up and out to share it with your alien friends now. Here we go. Let that go. And the aliens are going, well, that's a lot of breath. That's a lot more than we can take in. We've never breathed this much before. And you go, okay. So it's not always like that. Sometimes it's a lot more practical or rational. So you show them your 6 medium size of relief, and your hands can be right underneath your diaphragm. And as the breath comes in, your fingers go down, and as the breath flies up and out of you, whoosh, your fingers fly up. So 6 medium size. And the aliens go, oh, that's much better. That's much more like something I can handle. And so you do it again. And they're very content. And you're thinking, well, but sometimes it's just a lot more excited. Sometimes I'm really anticipating something. Sometimes it's like that moment before I open the present, and it's like, I wonder what it's going to be, or the moment before I see my best friend, and I'm so excited. And so you decide to do many fluttering anticipatory pants that turn into relief, and it's going to be just fingertips of connection right in the center of your diaphragm. And they're getting a little excited by this. They didn't know that this much anticipation could turn into relief. And again. And the aliens are getting a little too excited, so you go back to the medium sigh, but this time you let breath drop in, and it's like there's a little, bright red ball of sound vibration just bounces up and out. Ha, ha, ha. So you're teaching them your language now. You're saying, we speak with breath. Breath is the fuel for our voice. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. You're getting more refined with them now. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. Having a little conversation with them. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, 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 ha. Right from here. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. All right, as much as I'm yearning to continue, it is about that 45-minute mark, so we'll end our warm-up for today. I hope you enjoyed that visit to your sculpture self, the warm-up in the chair. So for those of us who are sitting a lot and maybe can't get up, I don't know, but maybe you can do a lot of this work in a chair, and hopefully you got something out of it. And then our surprise visit to space. So hopefully you found some relief from the circumstances on Earth by taking yourself out of Earth and into space. And I'll be back tomorrow. Take care, everyone.